makes you happy.
Hello everyone, it's Darby RiverBendSurvival again. Obviously starting a new series on outdoor book reviews. I've glanced around, I haven't searched hard, but I can't seem to find anybody that's reviewing books online. They may be out there in YouTube. I just didn't find any. I have a fairly extensive library of outdoor books, and I just thought it'd be a great idea to sit down and tell people what my personal opinion of them is. I'm not a literary genius. I do study a lot though. So, we'll get started today. Remember, it's just my opinion. We're going to start with one of the classics. It is Nessmuk's Woodcraft and Camping. Nessmuk, of course, is George Washington Sears. He was a writer for sports pages and outdoor magazines. In the late 1800s, around 1884, somewhere around there, maybe 85, I don't know, but it's right in that time period, he put out this book. It's since become a classic. It's a good book. Some details about it, though. There is a lot of time dedicated in this book to canoeing, and a lot of time dedicated to food, what he likes to cook, what he likes to eat. That's fine. If you're looking for a survival book or a how-to book, really, if you're looking for a bushcrafting book that's going to be your one source of information for it, this is not it. It is a very good book. I put it in the category of collection books, books that you have in your collection that you can go back to and look at. I need to quit saying you, that I have in my collection that I can go back in and look at if need be. It's well worth the read. I, like just about everybody I've ever talked to about the book, am shocked when I get it at how short it is. It's incredibly short. Let me see how many pages it really is. 101 pages. That's all it is. 101 pages in a small book with medium-sized writing in it. The thing that I was disappointed the most with is there's very few illustrations in the book. He talks about things, but then he doesn't show them. It's just the writing style from back then. It wasn't like today where they could just pump this stuff out on a computer and add it into a book. The gear that he used isn't really relevant today. It's over 100 years ago. Now, one little detail about this book, and I stress this when I'm teaching class. I hate when I hear people say, Nessmuk wouldn't use that, Sears wouldn't buy that, Nessmuk would never use that. That is absolutely 100% wrong. He talks about in his books where he goes and buys stuff specially made for him. His friends who were outdoorsmen make fun of him. He talks about it, about how he spends all this time to get on a train and travel to a different city to have a hatchet head made, pays an exorbitant amount for their time period for it, stays in a hotel overnight, and then comes back home with it, and his friends are just dying laughing at him. He spent that much money on an axe head, or hatchet head. He has special cookware made for him. If he had access to the stuff we have access to today, he would be using it. That's why I say the gear that he talks about here is not really relevant. You're not going to go out and have 10 pans made now. You're not going to go someplace and find a manufacturer that's going to stop everything they're doing and make you a custom hatchet head or axe head. You can get that stuff done, but the gear in here is not really relevant. What is relevant is this. His pack, including a canoe, which he had custom special made for him, weighed in at 26 pounds. He carried very little food with him. His shelter system is something that hardly anybody would use today because they didn't have the materials we have today. He was a very small man. I think I read somewhere one time that he weighed like 105, 110 pounds. He was a very small little man. A lot of people nowadays think that he probably had tuberculosis, especially towards the latter part of his life. I don't know the man obviously, but I think that led a lot to the carrying less and less and less and lighter loads that we take for example, that we automatically do today. We're always trying to lighten our loads, get a smaller pack, get smaller gear. He started it. Before him, the vast majority of people carried so much gear that they usually had to hire people to help carry their gear. I'm going to try to keep all of these short. Do I recommend this book? Of course I do. Is it a good read? Yes, it is. His ideas and his philosophies of how he thought about things are just brilliant. The way he wrote was brilliant. There's a thing in here, and I'm not even going to try to give you the exact quote, but the gist of it is, we don't go out into beautiful forest and beautiful woods and hang out by gorgeous creeks and rivers and have all these beautiful views in front of us to rough it. Roughing is what we put up with at home. When we're out there to enjoy it. I love that thought process. If you haven't read it, I would recommend getting it. Good book, good information, good thing to have in your library. Hope you enjoyed your review. See you at the next one. Bye.
Who's the one that makes you happy?